You know how sometimes a movie feels less like a story and more like a protein shake commercial for patriarchy? Yeah, that's Extraction 2. It is 2 hours of bullets, beards, and broken male feelings. All is toxic masculinity. All is patriarchy. Let's start from the beginning, or technically the end of Extraction 1, where Tyler Rake gets shot, falls off a bridge, and because this is Netflix, he doesn't die. He's in a coma. And who's by his side the entire time? Nick, the woman. Because of course, in the universe of male action movies, women exist to wait, to care, to be the emotional Wi-Fi, keeping the hero connected to life. And when he finally wakes up after she's literally kept him alive, the first thing he says to her is, "Fuck off." Fuck off! Cute, right? Nothing says thank you for keeping vigil over my half-dead body like a little performative disrespect. I know it's meant to be banter between soldiers, but let's be honest. This is evidence of how toxic masculinity can't even say thank you. Then there's the villain, Zurab, male, muscular, and emotionally constipated. Because heaven forbid a Netflix action movie let a woman be the villain. No, villains must be men because in this cinematic universe, men are both the disease and the cure. No, seriously, why can't a woman be the villain? Why are men both the problem and the plot? I guess Hollywood's answer is because masculinity sells, especially when it's drenched in guns and moral ambiguity. Also, apparently, women can only nurture or suffer. They can't wreak havoc. A female villain might force the movie to admit women have power, and we can't have that in the church of testosterone cinema. Look at this. Zurab kills a governor. I see here the intersection of patriarchy, politics, and violence. It is how men build governments the same way they build empires in action movies, through blood, hierarchy, and control. Zurab is basically the patriarchal system with ABs. He is a man who kills to control, to restore honor, to avenge family. It's the disgusting representation of the politics of domination as loyalty. And then there's Tyler Rake's emotional motivation. This is what annoys me in these movies. The forced writing of the male characters as traumatized, so his wife left him, his son died. Classic. Because apparently, a man can't just exist without a woman's absence or a child's corpse fueling his moral engine. This is the same storytelling formula that birthed The Punisher and half of late-stage Liam Neeson's career, the masculine grief industrial complex, because pain isn't something men process, it's something they must weaponize. This is the John Wick syndrome, where you give the man a dead family so he can kill people for 2 hours with moral clearance. And speaking of weaponized masculinity, let me introduce to you David Zurab's brother. He's so patriarchal, he literally brings his family into prison with him. He thinks "I love you" is emotional captivity. David embodies the most suffocating kind of male control that believes proximity equals protection. The wife, the mother, the kids, all within arm's reach, all within the blast radius. This is a metaphor for how toxic masculinity doesn't just hurt women, but builds homes out of their pain. And then we get to the family origin story, the generational infection. Zurab and David were forged in the patriarchy's favorite playground, war. Their uncle beat them, told them that love equals loyalty and loyalty equals blood. So now Zurab hears his dead uncle's voice whispering in his head, urging him to avenge his brother. This is patriarchy influencing from the grave. And then there's Sandro, the son and intern in the toxic masculinity corporation. He wants to be like dad. He wants to be tough. He wants to join the Nagasakis because in this world, family and gang are the same thing. He's annoying, yes, but he's also tragic. He's what happens when boys grow up seeing violence as a love language. And through it all, poor Ketavan, trapped between monsters. On one side, her husband and his brother, violent patriarchs with God complexes. On the other, Tyler Rake, the savior, the hero, another avatar of violence. She's rescued, but by the same system that broke her. If that isn't a metaphor for womanhood in the world of men, I don't know what is. And there's this one moment that nearly made me pause the film. Ketavan walking behind Tyler through the prison chaos. I couldn't unsee it. A woman walking through a world of male violence, shielded only by another violent man. The prison is the world, and patriarchy is the architecture, the misfortune of survival by walking behind the same people who built the cage. And Nick. Oh, Nick. Is she liberated or just assimilated? Is she doing all this by choice? Or has she been bitten by the bug of masculine validation and male gaze? Sometimes I wonder if Nick's freedom is real or if she's just another prisoner who learned to enjoy the weapons. And then the scene that says it all, Zurab handing Sandro a gun. That's patriarchy in one frame. A man teaching a boy to mistake cruelty for courage. This is how the system replicates itself, not through violent ideological inheritance. And just when you think maybe there'll be consequences, Idris Elba strolls in with that smooth voice and says, "There's another job. Of course there is, because men can blow up half of Europe, but the real crime would be them facing therapy." Patriarchy doesn't end, but just gets a new mission briefing. So Extraction 2 is a case study in how Hollywood keeps rebranding the same myth that men break things, women fix them, and somehow it's supposed to be inspiring. But don't worry, I guess there's a third movie coming. I'm Emily Clinton, and I hate the patriarchy.